Hey everybody, Tolstoy Kafkaevsky here, standing in front of my, sitting in front of my, our TV entertainment set. As you can see, you might not be able to see the bottom one, regular black Xbox. We got us here a Xbox 360 and a Nintendo Wii, which we never even used. Anyway, recently, my brother, Xbox 360, in case anyone hasn't noticed, is my brother's, and my brother, recently has been buying some attachments for it. Recently, yeah, he bought this, new control pad from the GameStop people. I think it's quite awful. I was playing Call of Duty 4 with it, and I was on the arcade mode trying to get a higher score on the first level, the second level with the SAS, the Blackout, the thing with, Raskolnik and Nikolai, or I don't really pay attention to the plot too much. Anyway, and I found that the aiming was just off. It's a bitterly poor control pad. Whatever. I normally end up using them, but another thing that he bought recently at our local Game Power, it's not Power, Power Gamer, not GameStop. They're actually not a chain, they're an individual import store. Kick ass. Anyway, yeah, and he bought this here used 20 gig it's hot, hard drive disc. And the reason for that is because he also bought at a thing place, a Radio Shack, a electronics boutique. Actually, no, Electronic Boutique was a real a place before they changed the name to EB Games, before they changed the name to GameStop. I don't really know what happened to Electronics Boutique. Anyway, at a Radio Shack, we bought ourselves for this a Ethernet cable and hooked up to our wireless router. Why they couldn't just build in Wi-Fi like the PlayStation 3, I truly do not know. What I can say is that I'm not a fanboy. I used to be, but I'm not a fanboy now. I sort of half understand people's frustration with these, supposed, the stupidity, the fallacy of these, retarded wars where Xbox 360 mongers or PlayStation 3 mongers go, mine's better. But on the other hand, I have to say, yeah, my PlayStation 3, it's better at internet than this thing. I swear to God, Xbox Live, what the hell? Just my experience with it. I've been trying to get this thing hooked up for, we got it sort of hooked up in the beginning, and it was like having my testicles ripped off slowly. I cannot imagine a more poorly designed process. It wasn't wireless. We had to buy a big Ethernet cable and drag it over there, and just working with this thing and getting it even updated or whatever was horrendous. And this was the first time that it's been online since we purchased the Xbox 360 back in whenever it came out. Let's turn this on, I guess, just to show you. Activate. There we go. And the thing is, I have hooked up. Activate. There we go. I've hooked up to the internet, our wireless router so far, 2 PSPs, actually 3 PSPs, really. This Wii, only for a short amount of time for some strange reason, and what was the last one? Oh, the PlayStation 3, and it's always worked like a dream. It's always worked perfectly, and I have to say it that easily, and it was just so easy to do. This was just a pain in the ass. This was, first of all, by doing this, somehow it deleted my profile off the memory card that was mine. Guess I should have detached it, but like a dummy, I didn't. So now we don't have that. There is an avatar, but I have to upload. I don't know. That's not really even supposed to be me. I did one that kind of looked like me. It even had these camo pants. And I don't really think the avatar creation system is that great. I mean, even for PlayStation Home, or any of these creation systems, I always just look at it and they're like, we have 3 separate t-shirts and they all look like they could be worn by rich white boys from the OC. Oh, goody gumdrops, it's always what I wanted to do. Anyway, and I can never get this thing hooked up. As soon as I go to, let's see, we wanted to download some games onto the hard drive, join Xbox Live, ooh, and it goes, oh, you sure? Yeah, okay, fine, let's go, right? Can't connect, there we go. And I've tried it 20 freaking times. I don't know what the problem is, and the thing is, it got online once. That's what gets me. It got online once. Now, again, it was not really getting online like a smooth thing, it wasn't like we got online once and it just, let us through. It was almost like having to, doing a battering ram. You had to keep asking, can I get on now? Can I get on now? And I kept on going, and there's a problem with you. Oh, I don't know. It has a problem. I don't know. And finally just, let me through. And I'm like, oh, okay, apparently those problems went away. Which I don't understand. Same thing with the Wii. The Wii used to go on the internet before, and then I moved it down here, and I tried to reset it all up, and we had to get a new router, because believe it or not, our house has been struck twice by lightning, and the second time it cooked the router and all the internet, and we had to get it all fixed up, but By the way, when I reassigned our new settings for the PSPs, worked fine. When I did it for the PS3, worked fine. When I did it for the Wii, it didn't work. Whatever. And so my question here is that how is it you can get on the internet with an Xbox 360 sometimes? I mean, if it's basically a computer and hooking into the internet is just a mathematical process to it, how can I sometimes do it? That to me is like saying, well, 2 plus 2 equals 4 sometimes. No, 2 plus 2 always equals 4. The only thing I can tell you is that I guess one of the conditions changed, but I can't tell what. Nothing changed. I just once got in by luck. I don't understand. I really think that the whole setup, I mean, they're acting like the way that they've set up this new firmware on the 360 is so much better. I still think it's crap. It's like navigating one of those Doom hallways, except for it's in real life and it's just lined with fiery broken glass and nails, rusty nails. It's not that comfortable. I'm not bashing the 360. The 360 well, it's certainly not a solid console. To say it's solid would suggest that it was built with good hardware, and let's face it, there's class action lawsuits going around in California because of, they knew, Microsoft knew, and they admit that, around the time of releasing the 360, they were, rushing things out. They were like, well, hey, sir, this one tested dead. It looks like, a mutant child. It doesn't want to play. It's basically broken. They put it in a box and ship it out there anyway. We have to be number one. We have to get as many consoles out there as possible before Wii or PlayStation 3. So the hardware really isn't that great. But, I mean, aside from that, yeah, it does play the games. You have to admit, Microsoft knows how to get game developers to work for them, which is why I can't understand it. How can Xbox Live be so prolific when, I think you got to pay for something. You got to pay for the gold. I never quite understood that. And it's just such a pain in the ass to get hooked up. I mean, I've been able to compare the two experiences, and I gotta say, PlayStation 3 was a dream compared to this, and PlayStation, that wasn't that fun. That took me like a half an hour to figure it out. This I still can't get. Anyway, but I'm not bashing the 3. I am bashing the 360, but I think the 360 deserves to get bashed. I'm just trying, what's the word? I'm just trying to magnify the point that I'm not a fanboy. I'm just saying it wasn't that easy to get on the internet. Granted, the Wii was not easy to get on the internet. I did once. I don't know what changed. Every 6 seconds it says, oh, you got connection error, and I love this when they give you a connection error. They don't tell you what's wrong. They just say, hey, you got a connection error, Z, E59 Charlie Echo Gamma Delta. Oh, that's good. Is that what's wrong? Silly me. And I got the Nintendo people. They're good people, though. They really do treat their customers well. I've called up 360. They got a smile. The 360 people, when you call them up, they have to, how are you? You lost weight. You look good because they know that they sold you a console that went like Rosebud and died in 5 weeks. Whatever, Nintendo, they don't really owe you anything, but they're still nice. Sony, I had to call them up a couple times, and both times I've called them up, yeah, what do you want? Yeah. God, alright, fine. The Sony people you don't like talking to. Anyway, so this was really more a test video to see how livevideo.com works. See how, what kind of attention I can attract here. So, yeah, that was my little experience with the Xbox 360. Why people love the Xbox Live or the hookup so much, explain it to me. Maybe it's because they never tried to do it on a PS3. Maybe I'm just not technologically inclined, I don't know. Anyway, did I mention it erased all my profile? Yeah, I'm still kind of pissed about that. Ugh, whatever.